Hey, what's chilling dudes? It's Torbray, and this is just another messing around episode. Uh, it's sort of a Minecraft science sort of series, but yeah, it's just me messing around with certain ideas. Like this idea, I just discovered it fairly recently. When you fire an arrow, not a derpy glitchy arrow, when you actually hit something, when it's not a glitchy arrow, there we go. When you fire an arrow into a block which changes shape, for example this repeater, it has like two states, on and off, then that arrow will move. For example, like the repeater has two block types it switches into. It's got an off state and it's got an on state. And that arrow slowly moves. And I think it's moving upright, like it's trying to fall down into the repeater. It's kind of odd, and I just wanted to have a go with it, see what I can come up with. Huh. I'll get back to you when I get something going. Hey, I'm back, and so I've done a bit more testing, and it, like, you know how the repeater, that works. All of these blocks along here also work, like the comparator works exactly like the repeater. As it changes state, it'll drop the arrow up and down. It's kind of funny because they look exactly the same, so that's what you would expect. Next we have this dispenser. I believe it also works with hoppers. Also works with droppers. That was a bit surprising because like it's a block. It doesn't really change like these repeaters and these comparators. They don't have an on and off state. But yeah, like when you turn this on and off, like the dispenser, that turns on and off, but also the arrow moves. So that's a bit surprising. Also surprising is this hopper. Like, you hear that moving, but it's not exactly changing type or changing a block, is it? Is it turning into like a locked hopper? A piston is quite believable, like honestly, because it moves. Next we have the redstone lamp. This is what inspired this messing around episode, because I was firing a bow into a redstone lamp and it was dropping the arrow when I shot it in the side. Like, that's in the side. That's falling down, right? Well, even though it's glitched, it's still falling down. Next we have this furnace, which is also kinda surprising, but not really surprising at all, because you know how a furnace has an on and off stage. So let's just grab a stick. Look at that. When it changes state, the arrow drops. That's not surprising, but it's got a cooking state and it's got a cold state. So it's not too surprising. And then messing around with all of this, I noticed this awesome trick. When you get a dispenser and then you fire an arrow from the dispenser into that stair, when you press that button, an arrow flies towards you. Which is kind of funny because you're like nowhere near it. Well, you are near it, but I was testing it, and as long as you're in the chunk, so say let's go, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure whether you even need to be in a chunk, as long as you're like a certain distance away. Because say I did this, and then turn that on. When I walk closer to it, it activates, but what happens if I'm here? That's weird. Is it directional? I mean, like, I'm over here. Do you mean it just picks up? I reckon there's a border or something. There has to be a border. I'm sorry, I'm wasting time here. Yeah, but that's just weird. There's like this random chunk border which doesn't even follow the chunk. Unless it's like 2 chunks, but what's here? Yeah, that's a bit freaky, but anyway, I'll investigate that later. And then here are the 2 doors which really surprised me, because if you fire an arrow into any of these doors, you don't hear the arrow moving. It's because it's not moving. Like doors, you can walk through them. Entities can walk through them, but they stay exactly there. Look, it's floating in midair. Like, that one's a glitchy arrow, but you know, this one's in the door. Like, if I walk towards it, you pick up the arrow. This one is just floating in midair. It's just a bit odd. Does it mean like if a skeleton walks up in front of this door and shoots at you, it sinks into the door, or like if you shoot like that, it goes all the way through, but if you shoot into the door, and then you like flip it on and off, then I don't know, it just stays there. That's a bit odd. So I'm just going to investigate this dispenser arrow steer trick, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I've done a little bit more research, and I've set up this random rapid fire dispenser, so we'll know what's going on. And basically I was doing a little bit of testing, and basically when I turned this on and then I walked into this area, somehow I picked up the arrows. So say I'm like outside this area, fire the arrows into that dispenser, then I fly over here, I pick up those arrows. Sort of weird. Also, if I turn that on, and the arrows shot onto those stairs will fly towards me. Once I leave, I don't get any more. Once I enter, I get everything shot onto that dispenser. That's actually kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on. Is it a Minecraft bug or something? Like, it works if you turn it like that way. Literally, if you turn the stair. If you turn the stair into like any direction, it will work. And what's more is that the detecting area sort of weird, because from here to over here it's 22 blocks, and that doesn't follow any chunk pattern at all, because over here you see on the X and Z you see there's C colon negative 29 and 13. On Z there's C colon 8 and then 13 as well. And then over here it's 2 and 2. But that doesn't make any sense, because the next square along, that's 3 and 3, and then over there that must be some other thing. But yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't follow any Minecraft patterns. I think it's a bug. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this episode here. This has been kind of weird. As always, this is Torbray. Cheers for watching, dudes. And if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and cheers. One other thing, a YouTuber called SwiftSlayer or SwiftSlayer, I'll put the link like in the screen somewhere. He made a video on this April 4th. It wasn't into a stair, it was more into slabs moving up and down, and it's also kind of weird there. It's following the same concept, but I didn't know it worked on upside down slabs. So yeah, go check his video out, and if you can explain this, let me know or let him know. Cheers for watching, dudes.